Hi, Jason from the 12 Volt Shed here today with Steve Phillips, and something that I wanted to do a little video on was something we experienced while on a recent trip through the Simpson Desert. Steve, I remember we stopped at, I think we're in the Birdsville at the park, and we camped overnight, and you went to start the DC to DC charger, and what happened?
It was in float.
So you've got the red arc, 25 amp DC to DC,
40. DC 40.
And you looked at the lights.
Yep.
While you had
I noticed my volt gauge inside and the second battery was on 13.1, and that's normally on float.
Yes.
And when I come out and looked at the lights, it was in float.
Right, so why was it in float?
I've got a solar panel up on the roof racks.
That you don't run through the DC-DC
I run that through a Victron 100 volt, 15 amp
Yep.
controller.
Yep.
And I had that on, like connected, so it's receiving input through the solar panels, and obviously the red arcs picked that up when the car started, seeing that it's, the battery voltage is up a bit and I don't need to charge on, I reckon.
From recollection, that was probably somewhere around about 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. So by that time of the day, and this is one of the tricky bits when we charge from multiple sources, when the sun first comes up on a solar panel, you get a high voltage but not much amperage. So as the sun comes up, the voltage will climb, and then you hit the key on the DC to DC charger, the solar's pushing 12.8 volts by then, and the DC DC charger, being a fairly rudimentary device, literally looks at the voltage and says, where is that battery voltage and do I need to charge this battery? And at 12.8, 13 volts, it'll say no and go straight to float. So that's so what we had to do to get the DC-DC charger was what? What did you do?
What I did is disconnected I got a plug on the solar controller.
Yep.
So I turned the car off, disconnected the solar controller.
Yep.
Started the car back again and watched the lights, and it went straight to bulb.
And then you're able to reconnect that solar.
No, I just left it.
You just left it off.
But
but effectively you could.
Yes.
If you want to charge from both sources.
Because the voltage is higher in the red arc. Yeah.
In the early days of solar regs, I'm talking the dark old days before everybody started copying everybody wrongly, a solar regulation had a luminance sensor on them. So they wouldn't kick in until a certain time of the day. And it's just something to watch. It'll happen in caravans or in DC-DC situations. So I think it's a great little point, and thanks for sharing that. And mate, cracker of a trip.
It was good.
Well, you should do it. If you haven't done the Simpson yet, do yourself a favour and pack up a car and go. Make sure you're prepared, because it is a very, very isolated place. This bloke did the Simpson backwards, and as you'll see in some of our other videos, I even come up at sand dune and found them waltzing on top of a bloody sand dune. So we had a great time, and I think, as you'll see with this show, you'll learn heaps of hints and tips. So stay watching and stop by regularly. And thanks for your time today, and thanks, Steve.
Cheers.